Joy Taylor was on the Breakfast Club and had some interesting things to say. I'm going to start with a longer clip of Joy. I'm going to start with shot number 12. Joy not shrinking when things got hot, and they're talking about this lawsuit and all the conversation around Joy. Let's play shot number 12.
One thing I love about you, Joy, you did not shrink when shit got hot. Mm-hmm. Was that intentional? You like, I cannot let them see me sweat or shrink right now.
Yes, it was intentional to show up as I did. I'm not an unintentional person, particularly when it comes to what people see from me publicly. But when you know yourself, it's easier to continue to show up as you are. Mm-hmm. And there's always going to be things that happen in life, that happen in this business, that happen when you're a front-facing person. And when you get into the business, that is the risk we take of putting ourselves in front of the camera, of putting yourself out there.
Steve, let's say you got a likability respect meter. Did those 3 minutes of Joy Taylor, did it elevate your respect, likability, or did it diminish your likability and respect for Joy Taylor?
I think that's the most likable she's come off on any of these shows by far. I do. I think there was a little bit of self-reflection. I believe that there was a little bit of self-awareness, and she wasn't telling anyone how smart she is and how great she is in terms of knowledge of sports. I actually think that she came off pretty well in that segment.
I do too. She came off authentic. But she comes off a little bit, justifiably. She's trying to salvage her credibility, career, take me seriously, because that's the lane she's hopped in. She, in that clip, and I'm not sure if in any of these clips, is she, all this sexuality stuff that she's gotten into in these other interviews where she wants to show her, hey, I gotta have sex every day, and she didn't lurch into any of that based on the 10 clips I think I've watched of what she did on the Breakfast Club, and I think that's good. I want to play another clip. This is, I'm gonna say that one for last. Let's play shot number 11, and she kind of talks about the process of being a show host. Let's play the clip.
It's hard. I mean,
because nowadays people think they just do one internship and all of a sudden they pop and they should be getting millions of dollars and
are we being those elder millennials?
Yeah.
We were traumatized and we feel like we need to pass that trauma to the next generation. Nobody wants to work anymore. No, I think we've swung a little bit too far in the other direction. I think that it's more about the process. Every step that I've had in my career, every internship, every part-time job, every producer job, every, freelance job taught me something about what I do now. I'm really grateful that I started as a producer because now not only do I think I hire amazing producers and I know how to source that kind of talent, but I respect what they do. I'm not going to pop up 5 minutes before the show and expect them to have, changes ready for me or stats ready for me. It helps me prep for shows better because I have that background. So, I think the process is lost a bit. That's a recipe that we've lost is the process, and it's exhausting.
So I hear this clip a little bit differently, Steve, because in 2015, when Joy Taylor was brought to Fox Sports, she was some sort of radio producer / on-air talent down in Miami of not real consequence. And so 10 years ago, Joy Taylor's 27, 28 years old, hadn't really accomplished all that much. And she ends up the host of the show with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. She seemed to jump a lot of places in line, but is pretending as if she paid a lot of dues. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I will say this, though. She still does come off much more self-reflective than normal. Now, we could talk about the veracity of her actual claims about her own career path in terms of what she said there. You were there. Yeah, I mean, you saw it firsthand. You probably saw it a lot more than any of us did personally. But look, it is what it is. In this particular business, we know when it comes to females, especially, how you look. I don't know if it matters, but it can certainly help you. Now, before the last year or two, I actually had a really positive thought process about Joy Taylor on that show that you referred to. I thought she was good. She was the host, she was the point guard, and she understood I have to distribute the ball and get out of the way. When she took over as the news anchor or the update person for Colin Cowherd, I believe that she was much more likable than the predecessor, that blonde lady, who no one seemed to like. There was some issues about her, right?
Christine
I
Leahy.
thought she was right, and I thought she was much more likable. I was like, wow, she fits. But sometimes we are finding out, and again, this is the term, this is the phrase for this segment: less can be more. It's like that really good role player that comes off the bench in 25 minutes a game. They score a little bit, they pass a little bit, they get a couple of rebounds. But when you see them as a starting five player, every one of their flaws gets exposed over time. That's kind of the way I'm seeing her right now.
Yeah, and maybe my point of view and perspective was tainted because I knew way too much in 2015, 16. The rumors about her and Charlie Dixon started instantly at Fox Sports, even before any of the shows got off the ground. The rumor, and so, instantly. And even before that, though, I went through a tryout or she got to do a pilot episode or a practice episode with me and Cowherd for Speak for Yourself. And these guys got really upset with me because when it was over, I was like, no dice. I was like, not going to happen.
Hold on, did you say, Jason, did you say no can do? Anyway, just saying.
I was like, but no, literally, I was like, no. And I can't remember if her first trial, maybe it had nothing to do with Cowherd. It was just for me and my show, because that's what originally I was supposed to do, just without Cowherd. But regardless, I was like, no. And I was like, I get you guys want a woman, and I'm just keeping it real and transparent here. I was like, if I gotta have a woman, if you want to force, bring some grown women in here.
Yeah.
And so I made him bring Bonnie Bernstein in, and it was like, yeah, someone with a lot of experience. That's like, and someone that I was like, I need to feel comfortable that I can talk like a man, and I'm not going to be getting accused of being a sexist pig. I didn't want to deal with what Michelle Beadle, and I don't know if that happened before or after this, but when Michelle Beadle threw Stephen A. Smith under a bus and, used Stephen A. Smith for clout because he said something about don't provoke, and she threw a little tantrum and just used it I was like, I don't want to be, because I'm capable of saying something, and I didn't want to be, so I just wanted a mature, grown woman that actually could talk a little sports, that had enough experience in the sports world. I just didn't want a piece of eye candy sitting across from me. And so I said no instantly. And so maybe my perspective on Joy is just too biased, but I thought with Cowherd, she was okay, but I've just always thought way in over her head. On Speak for Yourself, way in over her head. None of these, the only woman I've ever seen really do a consistent job of being awesome eye candy, adding to the conversation, and letting men be men is Carissa Thompson. Only one I've ever seen do it. Guys aren't afraid of her. She's, just a rock solid human being. Obviously looks amazing, on camera. And you can have a full-throated male conversation, and she ain't gonna throw you under the bus. The only one I've ever seen do it. The rest of these women I'd be petrified of because they're all like Molly Qerim. Stephen A! Stephen A! Come on, guys. Stop it, guys. Guys. Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.